Want to be great? Start by doing the dishes. Hey guys, it's John sitting here in my studio drinking my water as a good boy does. Enjoying that 0-calorie goodness. My friend Jeshua washed his disciples' feet. Why? To prove that he was no better than they. Most leaders today just watch their image. They continually try to make themselves look better in the eyes or more powerful in the eyes of others. Jeshua washed his disciples' feet. He flipped the hierarchy. Greatness equals service. This concept of greatness, this concept of who you are and what you're being, that concept is literally about what you do. When my mom died, my eulogy, I kept repeating the words, "It's what you do. It's what you do." The concept of ego is interesting, and there's a balance in ego. There's the narcissistic person is so aware of themselves they forget others, and the empathic person is so aware of others they forget themselves. But ego is a balance. But ego out of balance towards the narcissistic side seeks followers. It seeks people to admire them. It seeks people to be the validation for their ego, for their individual belief. The true nature of our spirit is love, of God is love. And love always seeks to uplift others because love is uplifting. When you think about love, you think about flight. You think about fear, you think about heavy and burdensome and stressful. This concept is of love uplifting. It's inward and outward. Our ego self should love ourselves enough to know that we're not less or more than any others, and our other side should understand that when we are truly loving, that love goes outward as well and to uplift others. True power is in humility. Not the robes, the thrones, or the titles, or how many followers you have on Facebook, or any of those things. In the corporate world, there's a thing called servant leadership, and it's about serving the employees so that they do a better job. But servant leadership, if you think about it this way, inspires because it reflects love in action. It shows that the people who are in charge, who have a hierarchy, actually care. I used to work with a lot of companies. I used to tell them that the greatest thing you could do for your company is inspire a family-like atmosphere. Ask them about their kids, find out about their life, find ways to enhance their experience personally. You do that kind of thing, and your business will have people who will work for you for decades because you've created a love space for them to feel comfortable and they enjoy going to work. The spiritual path is not about status. It's about sincerity. It's about being truthful. It's about being loving. Jeshua washing his disciples' feet before his death, it was an act of humble love to show them how much he cared for them, to show them how much them walking in that truth meant to him. That idea of this act of humble love, to honor them, to express that to them. That what happened was they thought even more of him. And now a quick word from our sponsor. Coffee Time with John. This channel runs off coffee, so get your coffee and tea at johnsjoe.com. And he taught with parables, right? Why? Because he was meeting people where they are with stories that they could comprehend, they could understand. He walked with the poor, he healed the outcast. He never put himself in a position above them. He never said, "I am your Lord, your God. I am who you pray to." He never said those things. He said that you are my equal. We are one. Every day I sit down and I make videos. But every so often I get a message from somebody. Somebody just told me the other day that I saved his life. And I'd never met him. Just the work that I was doing, the videos helped him come to a place to come out of depression. And that to me is the most important thing. These videos, this channel is about service. It's about putting love into the world so we can create a loving world, to show people that they are love itself, to bring people to a place that they can love themselves, and to do it hopefully with joy and clarity so that people can step into that role. How can you serve today? How can you be loving today? How can you put yourself out there today? How can you look at someone else and help? You don't need to be validated. You don't need to have credit for giving. Just give, uplift, help. And another one. My mom's death was a great validation for this because we heard stories that she did for other people that we never knew she did. She did it in secret. It wasn't about looking for validation or looking for, the pathway to heaven. It was about just doing it's what you do. It's who you are. Value your contribution over the need to control others. What are you contributing? What are you contributing to a more loving world? And remember that true leadership without love is simply manipulation. But when you deliver from love, you're the truest leader. The higher you rise in your love, the more you bend in service, because love itself is of service to others. Find the people in fear, help them alleviate their fear. And children understand this concept better than adults do. They laugh, they smile frequently and easily. Their stomach as they walk, and as toddlers, their stomach is going in and out. Adults walk, their chest is going in and out. Why is that? Because the adults have life experiences that say they should store air in their lungs in case they have to run. So they're not breathing all the way down to the bottom of their lungs, which creates asthma and breathing difficulties and all kinds of issues in life. But children don't have that experience. They don't have all those experiences that say that life is so bad. They simply just love. And that's the important part of this, is that you have the ability to simply just love and be that love in the now. Love is a service, but it's a service to you and to others, to bring yourself to that space of understanding that true leadership is not about you. It's about us all. Start by doing the dishes. Start by doing the things that make the difference in the world. The greatest among you will be the one who serves others. And that's my thought on this. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See you.